So what is a zip longest function in Python and how does it work? Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to talk about an incredibly useful function from Python's itertools module, the zip longest function. If you've ever worked with the zip function and found that your lists don't match in length, zip longest is here to save your code. We'll explain what it does, how it works, and when you might need it. So let's dive in. Before we get into the zip longest function, let's quickly refresh our memory on what the regular zip function does. So if we look at the syntax, then here we have the zip function, and it takes two or more iterables like lists or tuples as a parameter and combines them into pairs. Let's consider the following example. Here we have two lists, list 1 and list 2. List 1 contains the integer elements and list 2 contains the string elements. And now we will use a for loop to iterate through the lists. So for item 1, item 2 in zip function, and inside it we will pass both list 1 and list 2 as parameters and then print the item 1 and item 2. And now if you run the program, then you can see that we are getting the pairs of elements from both the lists. The zip function pairs the elements from list 1 and list 2 together. But here's the catch. What if the lists are of different lengths? Let's say the list 2 only contains 2 elements in it. So now when we run the program, then you can see that this time both the elements from the list 2 get paired with the list 1 element, but one extra element from the list 1 has been ignored. In case of a different length of the list, the zip function stops when the shortest length of the list is exhausted. So in the above example, the third element from list 1 is ignored because list 2 doesn't have a third element to pair with. But what if you want to keep going even when one list is shorter, which means you want to keep all the elements in the output? That's where the zip longest function comes in. Zip longest is similar to the zip function, but with one major difference. It continues until the longest iterable is exhausted, and for the elements that are left over, it is paired with the default value, which is none. To use zip longest, you'll first need to import it from Python's itertools module. So we write from itertools import zip longest. And now we will replace the zip function with the zip longest and pass the list 1 and list 2 as parameters. And now if you run the program, then you can see that the first two elements pair up normally. 1 is paired with A and 2 is paired with B, but this time the third element from the list 1 is also included in our output. And it is paired with the default value of none. That's the key feature of zip longest. It keeps going until the longest list runs out of elements and fills in the gaps with the default value. So by default, zip longest fills in none when a list runs out of elements. But what if you want to use a different fill value? Well, in that case, you can pass your own custom value using the additional fill value argument. So let's say instead of a none value, we want to assign the null value. So this time in the zip longest function, we will pass an additional fill value argument and set its value to null. So now if we again run the program, then you can see that this time we're getting our custom null value. So the question we have is when to use the zip function and when to use the zip longest function. Use the zip function when you know that all of your iterables are of the same length or when you're only interested in pairs up to the shortest iterable. And use zip longest when you're working with iterables of unequal length and need to keep all the elements and filling the gaps as necessary. And that's how the zip longest function works in Python. It's a powerful tool when dealing with iterables of different lengths, allowing you to handle the leftover elements. Whether you're working with lists, tuples, or any other iterable, zip longest will make sure nothing gets left behind. I hope this video helped you understand the basic concepts of how the zip longest function works. If you found this video useful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon to stay updated on all our future videos. Let me know in the comments if you've ever used the zip longest in your projects, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.